This is a very, very difficult question, of course, but I think we need a vision. We need the perception that Europe has to do with our future. Altogether, we are something like 500 million people on this continent. There are something like 7 billion people around the world. And we 500 million have to have an idea what we want to achieve on this globe. And this vision, I think, should be that Europe is a part of freedom, is a place for justice, and is a place for equality. And Europe should spread out these values. Europe should become a kind of soft power in the world. And Europe should abandon its history, where it was a colonial power which made the world dependent on this continent. I think the main challenge is that there is growing inequality all over Europe, and one of the main concerns I have is that young people are actually living in situations where there is high unemployment, and if there is no future for young people, there is no future for the future. So I think this is the main problem, and there is Austria is a very Eurosceptic country, and I'm not really sure why it is, because we are also the real winners of the situation. So we really gained from the membership, we really gained from new neighbors who became members of the European Union. So this is actually a real question why it happens like this, and I think this is because sometimes people do not really want to go into deeper discussions about the whole situation. They just like to react on symbols and on narratives which are sometimes very much aware of the problems.
Yes.
People are anxious, people have fears about the future. And in this situation, it is very easy for people just to exploit these fears and to develop scapegoats and telling different narratives which have nothing to do with the reality. I would say it should become a global player, because at the moment we don't have a real clear position. We are in between being a kind of friend of the Americans. We do not really know what this transatlantic friendship really means. So I think we have to develop our own concepts of European identity, which is certainly based on the indivisibility of human rights, and which is based on what I would say on the European social model. So Europe is actually differing from other parts of the world, that we put a certain emphasis on the concept of social welfare, and the welfare state itself is a European invention, and I think this is a difference to other parts of the world. And becoming a global player, it should also mean that we should try to spread these ideas over the globe and make the world more just and more socially equal.